Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another titillating episode of No, She's Not My Daughter. I'm Jason, the taller and older version of our age gap relationship, and as always, the beautiful and talented Brandy, baby girl Ryan. Say hello to our friends and neighbors, baby girl.
Hello, friends and neighbors.
Was that better than mother truckers?
Yeah.
That is what it is. Hello, everybody. Sorry, it's been a few minutes since we've been on the air. I know we say that literally at every
time.
episode. But we're going to try to get better at it, I promise. Of course, we break a lot of promises, but we're going to get better.
I think once we're in our new house, we finally have a designated space for things.
Oh, my God, I can't wait. This fucking place is driving me crazy. Well, listen, before we get too deep into this, why don't you tell them where they can find us?
Yes, you guys can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Jason and Brandy. Jason with a Y, Brandy with an I. Facebook and YouTube, No, She's Not My Daughter. And then email us at notmydaughterpod@gmail.com.
Excellent. And I think it's been a while since we've done this, but let's do your favorite part of the podcast, which is Famous Age Gap Couples with Brandy Ryan.
Yes. Okay, today we're doing Katharine McPhee and David Foster, which I thought was relevant because they performed together at Disney's Christmas Celebration Parade. And I thought that was super cute.
That was super cute.
Like, he played the piano, she sang, and I was like, oh my God, that's so cute. So, she is 38 years old and 5'8". I got the heights too. And then he is 73.
Holy shnikes.
5'10". Yeah, so they have a 35-year age gap. And they're married too.
That is insane. 35 years. I mean, we thought ours was big at 27, but 35 years. Holy crap.
It's really not that much difference. Like 8 years.
It's 8 years. I mean, it's 25% difference.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more than that. Don't do the fucking math. Don't send me an email telling me the math is wrong. Well, excellent. And I like Katharine McPhee. I don't really know him that well. Is he her producer or?
I think he is producer. He also plays the piano and stuff. I don't know if he sings. I don't think he sings, but.
Okay, well, we know what
they're
he
definitely
does
very musical together, which is nice.
Well, we know what he does do very well. That's how you can land somebody 35 years younger than you. All right, so we've got a lot of catching up to do, which is the normal format of this podcast because we wait too long to get back to you guys. We get involved in our own shit and forget to report back. So we got a lot of things to catch up on. So several holidays have passed, several life events have passed for us. We're going to attempt to catch up a little bit, and I think we'll start with Halloween.
Yeah, because I think that was the next after our whole Vegas update and all that stuff.
Vegas was in June for your birthday, and then the next kind of big deal was Halloween.
I think so, yeah. So Halloween, what did we go as?
We went as Hugh Hefner and a
Playboy
Bunny.
Yes.
And it was perfect.
Yes. I think we actually did pretty good. It was kind of last minute, and I think we pulled it off.
I think we pulled it off well. And we took the time to invest in, you'll see the costumes here in a little while, but we took the time to invest in the costume and to really play it out for what it was worth.
Yeah. Like, we actually ordered a couple different costumes and then pieced them all together because I didn't like the one part of this costume and the one of this part.
Yeah, she was a little obsessed with her look. I know you guys found that hard to believe, but she gets a little obsessed with her look.
I wanted to be comfortable, too.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know the kind of people who were going to be there, so I had to order a robe. I'm like, I don't know if this is the type of place my ass can be out at.
Listen,
or if I had to be a little more.
From my perspective, when you got a Porsche in the driveway, you drive that bitch to the grocery store. You let everybody see it. So that's we actually went to a work party, or a friend of mine from work. He invited us, him and his wife, to their house. We didn't know anybody other than them, and we had a great time. Pretty much. I mean, we had a good time. I think we were a little bit too hip for the room, but that's pretty much normal. The DJ was terrible. But that's okay. We had a good time, and the costumes turned out really nice. And
he really liked Meghan Trainor. Remember, he played the same Meghan Trainor song like almost 3 times in a row.
Yeah, damn near 3 times in a row. It was pretty ridiculous. So then we've had a few updates on our house.
Yes.
So for those of you who are just catching up with us now, we have been having a house built now for like the last year.
August we put the thing in.
Yeah, so it's been about 8 months, right? No,
from August.
August, September, October, November, December, 5 months.
Where's your math skills lately?
I've been drinking since 2 o'clock.
Anyway, so yeah, we put the offer in August, and it was only cement bricks at that point.
Yep.
New build. Yeah, so now we have cabinets, we have floor tile, we have hardware.
Yep.
All the drywall and doors are in, windows. So next is just like the remainder of the flooring,
Yep.
appliances, like sinks and stuff.
Yeah.
And like make sure all the plumbing works, and then we're
Well,
hoping to be there. Like end of January, early February.
Yeah, which is going to be a shit show all in and of itself. For those of you who are just joining the podcast, Brandy and I had separate homes, obviously, when we met. Mm-hmm. And through a chain of events that you can see with earlier episodes, so go back and catch up if you haven't seen them. Mm-hmm. We wound up living together. Within 6 months of us living together, we decided to sell our homes, our collective homes, and we were going to eventually buy something, and we wanted to do it from the ground up. We wanted something that didn't have any of the ghosts or the memories of past relationships and, kind of all of that stuff, and something that we could
Fresh
really
start.
embrace as our own. It could have our own stains and our own, relationship and ghosts and all those types of things. And so we found a beautiful house about 30 minutes from here, south, in a little town called Parrish, which, if you're familiar with Florida, is around Sarasota. Got a little bit of a water view. It's the perfect size for us. So we're really excited about it. Here's the downside, and it's because every freaking thing that we do, we try to cram 20 pounds of shit into a 5-pound bag. And this is no different. So we were originally supposed to close
December.
like
November, December, actually.
right after Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
So initially in August, September, when we started, when we signed the paperwork and the build started, we were supposed to close somewhere after Thanksgiving and before Christmas, because of supply chain and several things that kept getting knocked back and knocked back and knocked back. And now we are quite honestly about to close the same week of my daughter's wedding at the end of January. And and my son and his wife, their baby is due the exact same week.
The birth of your first grandchild.
So the birth of my first grandchild.
In Missouri.
In Missouri. And the marriage of my oldest child, my only daughter. Mm-hmm. We're moving into our new house.
Oh, and we're also hosting like 8 people to stay with us, which that's one thing. I'm a little pissed still, that I told you not to, but you did it.
Listen, I've been known to do things that you don't like.
Yeah, I know. So now we have to host 8 people, either in this one that's going to be all packed up pretty much, or the new one that has nothing in it.
Right. And it's probably going to be a combination of both. But the good news is my family travels really well together, and so they don't mind sleeping on the floor and on air mattresses.
But I'm
and
a
all that type of
hostess
shit.
person, so that bothers me. Like, I want to make sure everything's perfect. And now
So,
it's gonna
long
be a
story
mess.
short, we're going to try to juggle 14 balls with 4 hands and see if we can't figure it out. But we're going to come out of it just fine. I mean, it's just kind of the way our life has always been, and we've just kind of embraced it and moved on. So, Halloween, house update, and then shortly after that,
Was his birthday.
55 and still kicking.
Should have a woo or something.
I don't know which one
You
it
don't
is.
trust yourself
I
to
don't.
put the right
I
one.
don't.
But I think I was actually kind of proud of myself.
You
I
did
planned
an
a lot
amazing
of
job.
things, and this was like the first real relationship planning birthday for my significant other thing, and I kind of...
You did fantastic. Would you like to share the pattern of events?
Yes. So the day we celebrated during, I think your birthday fell like on a Wednesday or something. So we celebrated the weekend before, and I took you down to St. Pete and took you to this nice outdoor cigar bar upscale
But
thing.
you have to start with the first thing. Like, what did I wake up to?
Birthday video.
I woke up to a birthday video, and this is why we fit so well together, because she pulled it off in the same hysterical, stupid, crazy fashion that everything in my life has happened. So she just leaned right into it, and it was fantastic. And I'm certain she's going to put snippets of it inside this podcast, and you're going to see it. It was so great. She got all of my family members to do little snippet videos and wish me happy birthday, because they're located all over the planet, really. So I have a sister in Canada. I've got sisters in Texas. My parents are scattered all over the place, and so everybody was able to chime in, and it was so touching.
Which is a big deal for
precious.
me in general, because I'm more on the introverted side until I'm very comfortable with
Right.
you, and then I'm a maniac.
Right.
But so I reached out to all of his family members, like individually, and asked for like the videos, and I was like, they barely know me still. Is this too much? Is this weird? But your stepmom Carmen, who I love, she was a big help too in like getting everybody galvanized all together and stuff.
And when you see this video, I mean, it's my family embraces ridiculous shit like this, and then they start trying to one up each other. So it just gets more and more ridiculous as it goes on. But it was a tremendous amount of fun. I don't want to spoil it because I'm sure she's going to show it. It may pop up at the end of this
Maybe
podcast.
we'll
I'm not
put
really
it
sure.
Here, we'll put the video right now.
Now we have to pause.
All right, and we're back. Hope you enjoyed the video.
So it was fantastic, and then you took me downtown. I'm a cigar smoker, and we both like classy things, and so we like to be
We
a
ain't
little
afraid
bougie.
that we like nice things.
No. We've just embraced it. Some people say money doesn't buy happiness, and we just think they're not shopping in the right places.
Not entirely. We don't.
So we went to Dram and Flute.
Flute and Dram.
Flute and Dram. So it's a champagne caviar bar.
Cigar bar.
Yeah, so
thing.
it's indoor, outdoor, very free-flowing feng shui, I think is the right word. So really cool outdoor furniture and little fire pits, and it's right on the streets in St. Petersburg. So if you've ever been to Florida and you've been to St. Pete, you should go check it out. It's really neat.
Yeah.
The caviar,
Well, we also got like probably the cheapest
Yeah.
one because we weren't about to drop $300
No.
on caviar and not even know if we like it or not.
Right. Yeah. Not that we wouldn't. We were just like, I don't even know if we're going to like this. I don't
Yeah.
want to go $300 deep on caviar. I didn't want you to go $300 deep
Also,
on
I
caviar.
don't know how much you get. Like, is it just like a little?
I don't know, but I
Can you
think
pu-
didn't
can
we
you
end up with
possibly,
like
fill up only on caviar?
basically it was like fish egg nachos, right?
Pretty much. It was like blue chips with caviar on top, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah. And it was. What would you say? Scale of 1 to 10. What do you think of caviar?
4.
Yeah, 5. I don't know that I would order it again. If I was at a party
If
or
it's
something,
on
it was
sushi,
there.
I like it.
Yeah.
But I need other stuff.
Right. And if we were at a party somewhere and they had it, I would probably eat it just to
Yeah.
fit in and check it out. But I don't know that I would ever pay for it.
Yeah.
Again. And then the coup de grace of the whole thing. That means the coolest part. The coup de grace of the whole thing. She booked me. The Hard Rock Casino is here in Florida. It's actually down near Fort Lauderdale, and it's here in Tampa. And so she booked us a full spa day. And when I say a full spa day, like we did hot tub, we did steam rooms, we did
Well,
massages.
they give you a robe,
We
they give
had
you
big
slippers.
robes and slippers, and like it's as long as you want to spend there. And it was magical. It was fantastic.
Amazing massage, and then they give you lemon sorbet afterwards
God.
to, cleanse yourself or something.
And then after we did the spa, and I think it was part of her plan all along, but baby girl wanted to revisit some of her gambling prowess from Las Vegas, and made us locate the machine. If you haven't seen the Las Vegas episode, you need to go check it out. She won a shit ton of money playing this one single machine, and she spotted it on the way into the casino. A version of it.
It wasn't the 2. It
And
was
we
just
went
cash
there,
line.
and why don't you tell them how you fared?
I lost like $300 in 5 minutes, and then I had to stop because it was just I couldn't believe I
literally-
lost it so fast.
By the way she played last time, I was looking for a chair to sit down because
You thought you were going to be there for hours.
I thought we're going to be sitting there for hours. I'm like, I'm going to go find a cigar and a chair, and I'm going to pull it up and sit down. And she lost before I could find the chair. She was down 150 and sending me back to the ATM to go get more money.
I know.
And by the time she got $300 deep and was almost in tears, she decided.
I was not in tears. I was very disappointed though.
She was very disappointed.
Yeah.
And so we decided that
It just wasn't my machine. It wasn't it.
It was not your machine. Was
I had a feeling I should have been on the one on the left, and I took that one, and I had a feeling I should have been on the left.
But I got to tell you, it's probably one of the most memorable birthdays I've ever had. And she's right. She's obviously more of an introvert, and I'm an extreme extrovert.
Yeah. I'm extroverted once I'm
Yes.
comfortable.
Yeah, once
but
she gets
I
in
definitely
her
start introverted.
circle of comfort, she becomes very extroverted. But so for her to reach out to my family and to plan all these things on her own, that was a big deal, and she did an amazing job. I mean, I've never had a birthday like that before in my life, and I'm so proud of her, and I love her more with every breath I take.
You just want to get laid tonight.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Yay me! Every breath did I say every breath I take? I meant every breath. So now we've gone through Halloween, we've gone through my birthday. These are all chronologically occurring.
Yes.
And so now we rolled into Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was cool.
We had two, right?
Yeah, we had 2 Thanksgivings. we had Thanksgiving with my daughter and her fiance, soon to be her husband, in January. And so we had that here. And we smoked a turkey.
Oh yeah, that was your first time doing
I did a
that.
spatchcock turkey. If you've never done it, hit me up for more recipes. But you basically cut the backbone out of the thing and fan it out. It was actually cooked it in half the time. Long story short, pretty good turkey. They came over. We had dinner. My son was in Missouri with his wife, and other than that, we don't really have family here other than Brandy's family. So we did Thanksgiving here the night before.
Yeah.
So we did dinner with
Thanksgiving Eve.
Yeah, we did dinner with Morgan and Jason, my daughter and her husband, the night before, and then the next morning
We went to my parents.
we did the turkey trot.
Oh yeah, we did too.
Yeah. So traditionally, the neighborhood that I lived in when Brandy and I first moved in together, we do a 5K turkey trot there every year.
Which I swore I would never date somebody who did 5Ks on Thanksgiving, and I avoided it for so long, and then you happened, and
Yeah.
now it's going to be a thing.
It is a
forever.
thing. Well,
But
and
at least
this
you
one-
don't run it. Like, you're not hardcore. We walked.
Listen,
but
I don't have the back of the knees to run that thing anymore, but we do it traditionally. I was one of the founding fathers of the original turkey trot there in that neighborhood, and it's not a little neighborhood. So it started out. I was house number 89 out of 100 when I first moved in there. There's now 4,000 homes there.
Yeah.
And 3 schools and grocery stores inside the neighborhood. I mean, it's enormous. So there were probably 1,000 people out there running. So it's a big deal. So it's kind of, it's just a good memory for me to go and do this. And my daughter lives in the neighborhood, and so we go do that thing.
Okay.
And so then we went that night that late that afternoon,
yeah.
and had dinner at the Ryan household, hosted
Yes.
by my future in-laws.
Yeah.
And that was nice
And we
too.
watched the Cowboys game.
We did. We watched the Cowboys game. They were nice enough to let us keep it on in the background.
We went through a nice boat ride at sunset.
We did. We did a beautiful boat ride at sunset. Her parents live right on the water, so it was fantastic. And our relationship, I think, just continues to flourish.
Get better and better. Yeah.
With every time that we meet and every event that we do, it just gets closer. And
We pretty
closer
much
and
see them
closer.
at least once a week.
We do. Yeah, we become very friendly with them. They've become a kind of our go-to couple to do things now, so that's always nice.
And then we had my very first work holiday party,
Yeah,
which
Yeah.
that was nice.
it was nice.
He got himself a nice tailored new suit,
Yeah.
and he looks so handsome.
Yeah, she gussied me up really well.
Yes, we'll have to put some pictures. Of
I really always thought I was a very attractive, well-presenting man to take to things like this. I was not. She turned me into that, and I'm not. When I look at the pictures and stuff, I'm so impressed with what you've done with such a blank, weird canvas
you.
that it actually hurts my heart that I didn't look this way my whole life.
I'm okay with it.
I thought you might be.
Feel better that it's for me.
But she did a great job. Like, both of us were really dressed up, and our parents were dressed up. It was a beautiful event. It was in Sarasota, out on the water. It was in a marina. I mean, it was a really,
nice.
really nice event.
Yeah. And it was cool because it was my first real
Yeah.
work holiday party.
Her work party, and so she got to introduce us around, and she got to be in a grown up environment. So it was really neat. Then what happened?
And then we went to Texas.
Well, we did Christmas cards.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we made our first Christmas cards.
We made our own Christmas cards with our girls
I'll
on
put
it.
that up there too.
Yeah, and got to send those out. So our first
Have we ever
couples.
talked about our dogs before? Gypsy.
I'm pretty sure that we have.
Our dogs are Gypsy and Roxy. I'll
Yep.
put a picture of
And
them
you'll see
too.
some pictures of them here shortly, I'm sure. But we got them on the Christmas card, and it was a picture of us. So this was our we've come out, obviously,
Yeah.
but this was a real coming out. Like, you know, when you get Christmas cards from couples that it's really serious, you're like, oh,
Well,
they're
I think
doing
they
joint
think it's
Christmas
serious
cards.
if we bought a house
Okay.
together.
Well, just forget everything I just said. But the Christmas cards were super cool. She did a great job. She built them here and did all the design work herself. And as usual, it turned out amazing. And then we did go to Texas. So when was that? Middle December?
Well, I flew out December
Yeah.
18th.
So middle of December, I had to
No,
go
the
to
15th. I flew out the 15th, and we got back on the either 18th or 19th.
Right. So I had to go to Texas for work, it's where I'm from, and I have work stuff that I have to do out there now as well. So I had flown out again for work, and because it was getting close to Christmas, I flew Brandy out later in the week. No reason for her to come 3 or 4 days ahead of time, but she flew out, I think, on Thursday, and we stayed through the weekend. The little town I grew up in, Duncanville, Texas, for those of you who may be familiar with the area, I actually got to go see my high school football team. And I played high school football, but we were not that good. But my high school football team, I got to watch them play in the Texas State 6A championship. And I got to take my dad to the game and my best girl
At Cowboy Stadium.
at Cowboy Stadium in front of 40,000 people. If you're not familiar with Texas high school football, the movie Friday Night Lights is real. So, I mean, that's all a true story. So there were 40,000 people in that stadium. Half of Texas Stadium or Cowboy Stadium was full. And we got to watch them sit right at the 50-yard line and watch them win the state high school 6A championship. It was unbelievable. Just can't. It's like a bucket list thing. I got to take my 77-year-old father and Brandy, and we got to go sit and watch it play, and I thought it was really, really cool. She got me a signature hat. She helped me figure that out, so we got the logoed hat and my graduation year on it and all that type of stuff. So it was a ton of fun.
Yeah, and then we also tried.
We did. So we've decided we're checking out the coolest burger joints around, and so we had
Kind of
done
comparing.
Yeah, so we had done Whataburger, which is a big Texas thing. I took her there last time we were there, and she was like, it's okay. Well, Texas now has In-N-Out Burger, and so they don't have them this far out. So Texas, I think, is about as far west as they come, or far east. And so there was one right there close to our hotel, so we went and had lunch there, and it was...
It was all it was cracked up to be.
Yeah, it was good, right?
But not the fries.
Yeah.
I didn't really enjoy the fries too much, but the burger itself, I'm like, all right, I kind of see what the hype was about.
Yeah,
it lived up to it.
I would agree with that, and for me, I'm in the restaurant business, so I like restaurants that know what you stay in your lane, know what you do, and be great at it. Don't do 10,000 things half-assed. Do 4 things fantastic.
Yep.
And
That's
In-N-Out,
true. They only had like 4 things on the menu.
Like it was like single burger, double burger, bacon cheeseburger, double cheeseburger. That was
Fries.
it. And fries, and that was it. You didn't get anything else. But it was really, really good.
Yeah.
And that's why I say I like them. I like people that focus on what they're good at, and they are good at that, and they did a great job. Then we got to have a little Christmas with my family. Got
Sang
together.
karaoke.
Got to sing karaoke and play some games. She
Yes.
got to see family game night at my dad's house, which is insanity.
They're very into their games.
They're
It's
very,
cute.
very into it. So it's 2 hours of mayhem and craziness, and people yelling and drinking and eating, and just having a great time. And I'm sure you're going to see some pictures of that as well.
Of course.
It was a tremendous amount of fun. And so then we did. Then actual Christmas came,
Yeah.
and so we did.
And well, I guess part of it has to do with Texas.
Yep.
I had crawfish
That's
etouffee
right.
for the first time in Texas, which I never thought I would like crawfish. I always avoided it because I thought it was like a giant shrimp, and I'm more of like a medium-sized shrimp person.
Right.
I don't like jumbo shrimp. Like, it's just too much.
You know what she's saying, folks? Size matters.
Average is good. Average is good. So I had crawfish etouffee.
She likes really big shrimp.
We're past that. I had crawfish etouffee for the first time in Texas.
Yeah.
And it was okay.
Yeah.
It was decent, but I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, crawfish actually tastes like a mixture of like
Yeah.
lobster and crab, not
Yeah.
shrimp, but it was okay dish. And then we went, I guess for pre-Christmas with Morgan and
Yeah.
Jason, we went to Tibby's, which is your favorite
Yeah.
Cajun-style New Orleans restaurant, and they had it.
Yeah.
And you ordered it, and it was so much better.
Yeah.
I don't know why theirs was
don't
different,
either.
but it was so much better, and I kind of got hooked. And for Christmas, my parents were doing a seafood feast Christmas, which is kind of usually what we do in Florida.
Yeah, very Florida.
After we have Thanksgiving, we're like, we don't want to do turkey then again, so we want to do seafood. So crab legs, shrimp,
Yeah.
crab cakes, scallops, all that stuff. But I decided, I'm like, you know what? Let me try to make a crawfish etouffee.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can do it and try to mimic Tibby's. And so I experimented a couple days before. Fucking nailed it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
She is such an amazing cook, and I, when I tell you she tastes things, and then she can duplicate it when we get home, and she did. She crushed it.
And then so I made a big batch of it
Yep.
for Christmas at my parents' house, and it was really nice. I got these little soup bowls, and I decided to do it as an amuse-bouche type thing. So we all had these little soup cups full of crawfish etouffee and like a garlic baguette thing by the fire, and it was really nice. And everybody went for seconds. They all loved it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like,
Well, and
it was
even
the hit of the night, I think.
your parents were there and your aunt and uncle were there, and they're all my age. And several, like, we had it by the fire, and so it was a really neat environment to do it in. And everybody there said, this should be a tradition. Like you should
made
make
me
this
feel good.
etouffee every year, and we have it by a little fire pit.
Because
and,
I'm
sit by
learning
the
so much
water and
about
watch the sunset.
being in this like
Yeah.
I wasn't a cook before you. I'm
No.
only learning to cook now because
Yeah.
my mom cooked all the time, and then when I lived by myself, I was like, I'm not going to cook meals for just me at the end. But now I have somebody to cook for.
I'm glad you figured it out because it was fucking delicious. Like, it was really, really good. And then we played some games and, kind of duplicated the same experience we had at my parents' house, at her parents' house, and had a great time. I mean, everybody sat around, we drank and we played and we partied and had a wonderful time. And it was just a beautiful way to wrap up the year. And then now it's if you're watching this, we're getting ready to do New Year's Eve, and we're going to do that with her parents, and we're going to do it at a rooftop
in Sarasota.
Overlooking the water, fancy dress, black tie type thing, and so that's going to be amazing. We actually do that tomorrow night. So
Oh my God.
I know, right? It's kind of snuck up on us. So that's kind of our recap.
Yep.
And it's been several months, and we did that in record time, I think.
I think it's going to be longer than you think.
I think probably.
Yeah. But also, we forgot to mention, Marrying Millions reached out to us on Instagram and wanted to interview me and Jason to be on the show, but we didn't meet the requirement of him being a millionaire.
Right. We were close.
Yeah.
Not even close.
No, so we're not eligible.
Yeah.
For it. But we did say that,
Yeah.
we
We
would
would give them a plug.
help them find cat because they still are looking for people for that show. So if any of you are a millionaire or know
hit us up.
somebody,
Hit us up.
here you go.
We'll pass it along.
We'll reach out. We'll help you get in touch with the casting agent for that.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad we got back and did this again.
Yes.
And I can't wait to do.
We're gonna do better. We're gonna do better.
We'll see. So, in closing, baby girl, what do we always say? Laugh because it feels right.
Laugh?
Love because it feels right. Not because it looks right.
Nice.
Say goodnight, baby girl.
Good night, baby girl.